Yeah, buddy, who doesn't like a good old Robot Arena 2 soundtrack? The Combot Collective will be live here in a second. I know we said 8:30, small delay, but we're all awake, we're all live here. We'll be going on here in a second. All right, we are live. There is no need to fear. I am here. Small delay. Thought I had the laptop charged. Smart me. I did not, so had to get it plugged right in real quick. But we're about to get started here on Amidst the Havoc. Ooh. All right, everybody. Hope you're all waking up, having a great day. Hopefully, Blue Cheese will be as well, and hopefully, they won't get absolutely annihilated by Bugsby today. We got a lot of Motorama. Jesus, Murphy. What a way to start. We have a lot of NOWALK Havoc stuff to talk about today. I'm your host, as always, Sterling Brown, and welcome to the Combot Collective. Bring everything you want to know from the world of robot combat, from the heavyweight class to the fleetweight class, from battle boss to the live circuit, and we got more live circuit, live discussion here for you guys today. Last time we joined y'all live, we were talking all about the second half of the BattleBot season, and it's been a pretty exciting second half of this BattleBot season so far, I would say. We talked about, we have seen, numerous exciting matches, some very controversial moments. All this Riptide stuff is just mind-boggling. We haven't done a rundown on it yet, obviously. We've been doing a lot of focus on the live events for the past couple of weeks while BattleBots is taking this break. We're probably going to focus on that because next week, or maybe the week afterwards, is going to be the RoboGames live streams. We're going to do probably about twice the amount of RoboGames live streams as we are going to be doing these Amidst the Havoc's live streams today, because that's going to be a week-long affair. A lot of international competition, robots from around the world, and I'm quite excited for it because baseball's been doing their World Baseball Classic, and I have been obsessed with it, watching so much good baseball from around the world. It's like sweet cake, and I hope we get to see a little bit of that at the RoboGames event coming up here in a couple of weeks. International competitors such as teams from USA, Canada, Brazil, England, even places like India and Pakistan. So that's going to be pretty exciting. But this is about NHRL. This is Amidst the Havoc. We're talking NOWALK Havoc Robot League here. And the last time we joined you guys for one of these things, it was the July NHRL event. 2 days of robot discussion. It was a great time. We had a couple of builders on. We talked some shop with a couple of the analysts as well. People like Chris, Luke, Ethan, Tony. A lot of great people there. But it's just me this time. We were kind of having some internet issues with that last time. So hopefully we don't have those issues going on this time around. We're just going to be talking strictly the robot combat competition. No extra fluff, no extra interview. We're going to keep it bare bones just like we did for the last rundown we did, or I should say the last live stream we did with the BattleBots things. But I'm not going to try to assemble something like I did that time. That was a hot mess. Instead here we got just sort of a selection of the weapon designs, the robot designs we're going to be seeing at NHRL today. Maybe some crazy robots like Crushers. We got Ronan here, shouts to Pete Abramson, maybe some lifters. Obviously, we're going to see a lot of Bite Force style robot designs. In fact, we already have one qualified for the finals at Kickstart. We'll be talking about that robot here in a little bit. Maybe some horizontal spinner designs as well. A couple of big time hammers. You'll love a good hammer bot. Some hammer saws. In fact, Megatron is going to be there today. And you know what? Let's start with that. As we all get settled in here, I have 6 unique panels prepared for everyone today, talking about some of the robots to expect at NHRL Finals 2023, because we're already on the road to the 2023 NHRL Finals. And we're also now on the road. Forget you're live. You know, you forget you're live. You're like, wait, I can't retake this. My bad. You also forget that you're on the road. Morning, 8 a.m. people, sorry. But, you know, we're also on the road to NHRL right here today. We got a lot of robots set up, getting ready for their first ever event in 2023, because, of course, the January NHRL event was all about the new robots, of course. We had the Spring into Spring New Designs event last year in 2022, May. Amazing robots appeared there. We got to see Mechanical Advantage. We got to see Saw Loser for the first time at that event. But this one, you know, we had the January event for that this time around, and we saw some more amazing robots like Positively Exciting and Big Cookie. Big Cookie was a fantastic robot. And other robots that we saw there, qualifiers for the 2022 NHRL Finals. And let's start pulling them up. Let's start talking about some of these robots which have qualified, and we were just talking about the featherweights. Interesting. All right. So, pause. I need to look at this. We have our first error of the day. Whoopity-doo. I'll be right back. You didn't see me just now. All right, there we go. I didn't fix it, but I got it at least usable for a moment here. I love live recording because nothing ever goes right, and it always wears me out. And we are now 10 minutes into the stream, and something's already gone wrong, but it's all good. We're all rocking and rolling here. Yes, we were going to talk about the robots which have already qualified for the 2023 NHRL Finals, on the road to the NHRL Finals, robots that qualified back in January, the new robots event. And the very first that we got to talk about here are our Beetleweights. You know, we have some very recognizable names here. We just talked about Kickstart coming out of, sorry, voice is still calibrating, my bad. Coming out of Rectified Robotics. I said this was a robot very similar to Bite Force in its design. It's your classic four-wheel drive, all business, vertical spinner, forks up front. This robot looked great in the Federal Beetleweight competition last time around. A lot of robots competing, so it's always a tough field. Only robot that was really able to figure it out was Puka, four-wheel drive drum bot. It looks familiar. It's not a mini Poison Arrow. It's actually a mini Son of Cram a robot, which is a former NHRL finalist in 2022. It appeared at Motorama a couple weeks ago. You can see our rundown on Sonic Ram there. Not the best performance for it, I believe. It went 0-2 actually. Very tough run. So Puka, doing a little bit better than its younger, bigger brother, or I should say older, bigger brother. Hopefully they can continue that momentum later on to the year when maybe we see them compete at other NERC events, NHRL events, on the way to the finals. Who else do we have in this group? We have Wicked Twister from The Right Stuff. You know, we're going to talk in a little bit, especially in the hobbyweight class later on in this stream. You don't really usually get to see horizontal spinners have crazy success in these smaller classes. It's usually for the flippers, the vertical spinners, and what have you, full body spinners. But a classic tombstone style horizontal spinner here in Wicked Twister, Right Stuff. I love that yellow blade. You know, we got to watch out for this robot moving on down the line in the future. And then we have Offbeat, who I could have sworn I've seen before, but I'm sure I just saw a very similar version of this robot. This machine does have a large SME-like mini-bot that I was not able to fit into the frame. Trust me, I tried. Offbeat is a four-wheel drive undercutter. We have a couple undercutters actually already qualified for the 2023 NHRL Finals event. I'm going to keep getting these event names all jumbled up in my mind. I do apologize. But yeah, Offbeat, all red undercutter, placed 4th at the Beetleweight event in the NHRL finale. At the NHRL January event. See, I did it again right there. Those were our 4 robots. I mean, out of these 4 machines, you got to look at Puka. You got to circle Puka. I mean, sure, yes, it won the event, so obviously it's the highlight of the 4 here. But when you're talking about BattleBots quality teams like Team Small Robot, David Small, and the rest of his crew, a crew which has been in the thick of BattleBots lately, best of luck to them as they currently sit at 1-2 with one more fight in the regular season left. Hopefully they can bounce back, maybe sneak into the playoffs. But already a robot with a playoff push in mind for Team Small Robots. Puka, 3 pounds of thunder. Very impressive little design. But now let's get back to me here. Get back to what we're kind of looking at here on the TCC Instagram page. We just announced to everyone that we are live with another episode of AMIDST the Havoc. So hopefully you guys are piling in, chatting it up. And speaking of chat, let's not do what I did last time and not have the chat on screen. Let's keep that chat perfectly in view. I hope you guys are doing great today. If you guys want to say something, if you guys don't want to say something, you just want to hear me talk, either way works. I love seeing you guys. But now, let's keep moving forward here. We got a little bit of social media to look through as we start building up. We have 2 more classes to talk about here in terms of upcoming finalists, and we'll get to it in a second, but let's try to spread out the love a little bit here. One of those finalists that we're going to be talking about, or I should say one of the former finalists that we will be talking about at some point within this stream is STF. Look at this beautiful new robot here for, there we go. Is the picture good? Yeah, picture's good. Look at this beautiful robot from Team WPI Robotics. Looks fantastic. I mean, the first time we saw STF, I believe it was during the April or July NHRL event. The robot looked very questionable, very flimsy. Didn't look like a robot that you would see doing a lot of damage in these events. Even from a popular team like Team WPI, Team Ribbot, you thought maybe it was just an experimental thing, but nope. The robot manages to place top 6 of pretty much every event it appears at. Always does incredibly good. And they've really upgraded the design for the finals and for here today. I mean, look at this brand new STF. David Jin's holding it. He's smiling as always. He's kind of cut off camera there, but it's all good. It's all green. It's got the horizontal spinner. And it's also got shuffling legs. And shuffling legs, of course, gives you 15 pounds of weight advantage. That's such a massive perk in the 30-pound class, having a robot that's essentially 1.5 your weight, having to fight it. I mean, it's almost what BattleBots have to deal with walkers, with Chomp. That's double the weight. We're kind of pushing it. And those shuffling legs, you know, they look like they might be gimmicky. They look like they might be flimsy, but I'm sure these are really going to help STF make another push to the finals here today. I mean, we just looked at Nautilus at the Motorama event. That was a brand spanking new robot, vertical spinner, beautiful vertical spinner. It was a shuffling design, and what did it do on its first event with a lot of questions to be asked? Well, it went undefeated, 6-0, a lot of KOs, and it's probably going to be a robot where down the line we're going to be seeing at Motorama in the future. I'm sorry, at NHRL in the future. I would hope to see that, would love to see that. Well, let's keep moving on down some of these social media posts here, just highlighting all of the Ribbot team members that we're going to be seeing today. A lot of horizontal spinners, that's worth noting. Hopefully they do pretty good. We got Bloodsport celebrating St. Patrick's Day. We got Scorpius celebrating St. Patrick's Day. We got Malice. Oh, shit. This is exciting news. This is something I didn't know we were going to be talking about here today, but let's talk about it right here, right now. Team Malice getting ready for RoboGames. We actually discussed in our upcoming RoboGames video. Great to know that the information might already be outdated before it's already out. Whoop-de-doo. We're going to be talking about how Malice actually hopped from the main RoboGames field to the RoboGames reserve field. And we're a little worried about Malice not being included in this event. Hopefully that's not the case. By this, it looks like Malice may in fact still be there under its RoboGames legal name, White Rabbit. I think Malice, assuming that the weapon reliability is fixed, it's still a big question mark. The BattleBots version looks fine. The Destructifon version of the robot looks fine. The BattleBots version of the robot, not so much. This is going to be a very interesting test to see where Team Malice sits in the build-up to the 2024 BattleBots World Championship 8 season. Looks like they're getting some new parts made right here. That's always good to see. Shouts to Charlie Hubbard working on some robot combat stuff for his Robot Arena 2 mods. We got Rev Robotics right here. Some Destructathon info. And here's another thing we're talking about, and we'll use this to segue into our next stat panel that we want to pull up here. We got Team Valkyrie. This is another team, questionable designs, which will be at NHRL today. A team we're going to be seeing quite a bit of. And by the looks of it here, robots in every single weight class. The only one that really pops out to me here is Hot Leaf Juice. This is the robot which was made by Lucy Dew, the captain of Team Valkyrie this year. Probably the robot which got her captainship for Team Valkyrie, I would say. Built by Lucy Dew, driven by Ribot driver Gary Jin. So we're looking at the perfect hybrid of Ribot and Valkyrie with these three designs here. Hot Leaf Juice, of course, a former NHRL grand finalist. They've made it to December finals a couple times, I believe. I don't know much about the 3-pound version of Hot Leaf Juice we're looking at here. Eager to see how it performs. And then all the way in the back, let's go ahead and talk about it right now as I pull up the picture. And let me, in fact, make it look natural. Hey, guys. Hey, I'm Sterling. Let's look at these next bits. Boom. There we go. I really don't know why they got messed up between recordings. It is frustrating. Oh, well. And, yeah, let's talk about these featherweight qualifiers. We already talked about the beetleweight qualifiers. Let's discuss some featherweights here. 30-pound, the biggest weight class in NHRL. Always very fun robots in this class. Very unique designs. Designs which are built for the future in BattleBots. And speaking of BattleBots, the 30-pound version of Dragon Slayer from the 2021 BattleBots season. A hometown favorite of mine. I love my Dallas-Fort Worth robots. Squire placed second at this event. Two-wheel drive vertical spinner, Nighthead blade. It looks absolutely amazing in action. Beautiful robot. Hopefully it does well at the finals. They've already been making some preparations for upcoming events. They've already added some long forks for the future. They've already added some other setups for the future. They're probably going to be making more spares for the future, you'd have to imagine. But let's talk about the robot which beat it. A robot which we just discussed. If you look at our... actually, you know what? It's not out yet. It's uploading, isn't it? EVA. We talk about this robot in our part 3 of our Motorama preview rundown, or I should say post-event rundown. EVA placed 4th at Motorama 2023 in the 30-pound class, but they weren't running this drum that we're looking at in this picture. I'm guessing this is what they used for the January NHRL event, an event which they managed to win. Remy de Guzman with YO Robotics, a fantastic driver, usually a driver known for control robots though, like Wicked Wedge, like Weird Flex, like the Motorama EVA, which wasn't running the drum. They were running a pair of forks. They had an anti-spinner plow at one point. They had a D2 wedge at one point in that tournament. They had a lot of control configurations which they were making use of during the event. Only placed 4th though. I believe they lost to Nautilus and Lockdown. One powerful robot, one control robot. So EVA still a beatable robot for the future. We'll have to see what they do. Remy de Guzman likes showing up at these things, so I'm sure this isn't the last time we see EVA and NHRL before the finals. And the robot we just segued this into, Kablooey Tango, the 30-pound version of Valkyrie, the 30-pound version of Hot Leaf Juice. It is, I don't know if it's going to be driven by Lucy Dew or who's going to be driving it. Maybe one of the other questionable designs, Team Valkyrie members. But it is such a beautiful robot. You got the 4 wheels in the back. You got the big comic strip kind of aesthetic. The popping orange kind of gives me vibes of Foxic looking at it with the general look of the robot. And then, of course, you got the big time blade, almost like a mini version of their Dr. Acula blade, I want to say. Maybe I'm getting their blades mixed up. I don't have the exact blade sheet for Team Valkyrie in front of me. I'm sure I can pull it up real quick, but it's not too important. It's a big spinny blade. It's going to be ripping some robots up. Probably going to be picking up some wins in this tournament. But now in the 4th place spot, we have Death Pact. Usually in the 4th spot in these tournaments, you see a robot qualify for the finals that you kind of wonder how it made it as far as it did. And we got Death Pact here. I got a lot of respect for Northwestern University. I love the purple. I love the bucket hats. It's a great team. They are very serious about robot combat. They appear... they show up at a lot of events. They were at Motorama. They were not really a robot that we talked about much just because they didn't do much to excite me. I believe they went 0-2, maybe 1-2 with some underwhelming performances. But NHRL in January, apparently they placed 4th, snuck into the finals. So Northwestern University, they have a lot to be proud of. Kind of reminds me of Richard, a robot we'll be talking about later today. Very solid robot, Death Pact. Well, I don't know if it's very solid. I have yet to be sold on it, quite frankly. But it's solid enough to make the NHRL finals, join the likes of Squire, Eva, Kaplooey Tango, and probably some other robots like Megatron, like maybe Richard, other machines. Tryhard, who's not at this event, but will probably be at future events. Other very powerful, very popular 30-pound machines. Maybe Beam, maybe Nautilus will finally make the trip to the East Coast and compete. I would love to see that. But that's where we're sitting at with our featherweight qualifiers so far for the finals at NHRL this year. Well, let's keep moving here with some sort of social media browsing. There's a better look at all 3 of the robots. Kablooey Tango, Hot Leaf Juice, and our 3rd mystery suspect. Maybe we have a name here? Oh, I guess we don't. But here we go. Let's keep scrolling all along here. We got Team Widowmaker. They have been working on Tastes Like Burning for Robo Games. Very excited about that. That's one of the most beautiful lightweights in the world. We have Will Thomas showing up for Extreme Robots event later on in the year. He's going to be the captain for Team Quake, of course. We'll talk a lot about Extreme Robots throughout the year. Keep strolling, keep scrolling. There's a little bit of Huge. Shouts to Huge. They've already locked themselves in for the playoffs. But what about Bone Dead Robotics, the team behind Phenomenon? Well, we'll talk about Phenomenon, another robot that we're going to be talking about quite a bit here in a second. But Phenomenon confirming themselves for NHRL today. Very excited to see how that robot does inside the arena. Has to be better than what they did at Motorama. Phenomenon is a former NHRL finalist. Went 2-2 at Motorama. That's going to be a story we talk about later. But let's keep moving along here. Who else do we have to discuss? Team Dark Forces chatting about some stuff. I really hope we get to see Team Dark Forces compete inside NHRL or one of these other arenas soon. Spicy Meatball or whatever their mini-bot was for Big Dill looked absolutely amazing. And that fight against Mad Cat, or that robot, showed no quit at all. There's some post-fight from Team Kraken, a little bit of swag from Witch Doctor and Hijinks there. A lot of posts about FRC. The FRC season has kicked off. Shouts to all of my FRC builders, FRC competitors, FRC drivers. I know we have a few of those people following the Combot Collective. I know we have a few of those people following King of Draft. Our King of Draft co-runner, in fact, works for one of the main FRC teams competing in the main state, Northeast U.S. Hopefully he does well later in the year. But yeah, shouts to all our FRC teams. Let's not get too off topic. Speaking of Valkyrie, there's Valkyrie. Keep moving on along here. I don't know if we have too much else in terms of developments by these teams and build up for NHRL. I guess we do here. We have Fracas as well confirmed for this event. We don't highlight Fracas for we don't highlight Fracas in our highlight post that we're going to be sharing later, like we do for Phenomenon. But Fracas, I was a little surprised to see this robot confirmed for the bracket in this tournament. Fracas competed in the Sportsman tournament at Motorama last month. Was sort of a middle-of-the-field robot. I believe it went 0-2. It's essentially a big old clamping robot. Well, it's designed to, just grab you and lift you up, suplex you with 2 wheels. A little bit like Slammo. Slammo was a 4-wheel drive robot. This is pretty much a 2-wheel drive version of Slammo. Just grab you up and throw you over. Phenomenon, though, classic 2-wheel drive vertical spinner. And you know what? What are we doing? Let's talk about Phenomenon right now. Let me pull up the post. Not this one, not that one. No, it is going to be... So professional. Whoop-de-doo. Boom, there we go. And yes, it is going to be right here. These are our robots to watch for the featherweight class. We just talked about our qualified robots this year for this division. Well, here's the robots to watch in this division. We have Megatron, a robot I just discussed right now. We were just showing off Sawblaze right here. I grabbed Ronin. Wow, aren't I good? We got Sawblaze right here. It is essentially, that's the robot that Sawblaze was inspired off of. Sawblaze did not come first. Megatron came first. And, still not in shot. Where am I? There I am, right there. And, Megatron, just like Sawblaze, 3 big forks up front, a vicious hammer saw, maybe even more vicious than Sawblaze, given the scale of the robots which are going to be competing today. I would say, this robot has won multiple NHRL events in the past. It was actually the finals champion for the 2021 NHRL season. Was the best 30-pounder in the world for about a year. Only lost to certain robots like Tryhard after a controversial finale, I believe, during the March event. It appeared in the finale once again for 2022. Didn't do as well, of course, in Multiplier, our defending champion from that event. But Jameson goes, Megatron, still a robot to watch. If you have to pick 3 machines which are probably going to win today in the 30-pound class, Megatron has to be there. And maybe not count out Phenomenon for that spot as well. We just talked about Phenomenon coming out of Bone Dead Robotics. It is your classic 2-wheel drive vertical spinner. The fork game is very good. The vertical spinner is very good. This robot looks so much better from when we last saw it last year. It was more of a, generic, straightforward 2-wheel drive vertical spinner, bit more like Aftershock. This robot has a bit more pizzazz, has the Galaxy livery up top, forks out, vertical spinner still there. Motorama, we talked a little bit about Phenomenon, but not a lot to highlight it. It placed 7th out of 24 robots, 2-2 overall, which is a pretty disappointing performance for Phenomenon, all things considered. Lost its losers round ride against need a drink. Lost its losers round fight against Lockdown. Or I want to say losers round 5, losers round 6, somewhere around there. And in that fight, Lockdown managed to throw over Phenomenon, and during that strike, Phenomenon would suck up its own weapon belt, shitting itself, dying, knocking itself out in the process. Like I said, 2-2 at Motorama's 2023 event. You can see it on our board right now. Could have done better. Could have done worse, though. And a robot that we want to see doing a lot better this time around has to be Roadkill. This is a robot we haven't seen in almost a year, and we talked about it. Me and Luke talked about it extensively during one of our more recent After the Havoc podcast episodes that we did. Roadkill comes from South Dakota University. You know me, I love my university teams. March Madness is happening right now, so the college environment for these sports teams, it's through the roof. Teams are passionate, students are passionate, builders are passionate, and the robots are doing great. We're going to be talking about another school, Robot and Richard, shortly, but this is South Dakota University's Roadkill, and in 2022, it placed 4th somehow, some way during the May NHRL 30-pound championship. And a lot of people, myself and Luke included, we joked about how that robot did, how it pretty much just bullshitted and lucked its way through the entire tournament to sneak into that 4th spot. And we said, hey, man, if we're going to see Roadkill back, and we want to see Roadkill back, this robot needs, and I mean needs, to improve for upcoming events. Sadly, that would be Roadkill's final event. We did not see it compete in the NHRL finals. It skipped out on it. I don't know if it was because of personal commitments or travel or what it may be. But unfortunately, it was not there. But Roadkill is finally back here almost a year later in NHRL. It's currently sitting somewhere in the pits in Connecticut, and I hope it does not look like the Roadkill we're looking at in this picture here, because this Roadkill was kind of tough. These guys have had almost a year to prepare, plan, and get ready for another championship run for a golden dumpster. Hopefully they can get it done here with their undercutter. And here's another robot that we talked about fairly recently, STF from Team WPI / Team Robot. It made the finals in 2022 during that NHRL championship. And as I said, when I first saw STF enter an arena for the first time, I thought it was a joke bot. I thought it was an experimental bot. Thought it was more of a for fun design. But that blade is not for fun. That blade is no joke. It is ripped apart robots. I believe STF has competed in 2 or 3 NHRL championships outside of the finale. They always go top 6. The robot's good. The wheels are good. The weapon's good. It's reliable. It has a mini bot. Very impressive. And the STF we're looking at here is not going to be the STF we see inside the arena. As we just saw, STF is now bulkier. It's orange. It's got shuffling legs, which means it weighs 15 pounds more than most of the field. And it still has that deadly horizontal blade. In fact, the blade may still be the same. That blade looks the same as we see in this picture here. But finally, we have one more robot to check out here, and that is Chonky. Now, I've been following Robot Combat for a long portion of my life, of course, pretty much my whole life, and one team that always seems to be doing good in these live events, one team that always shows up at these live events, talking about schools. We talked about South Dakota University. We're going to be talking about Northwestern or Cornell University later. But this is the University of Georgia, and this is the RoboJackets team. RoboJackets have pretty much had success everywhere in the U.S. outside of BattleBots. These guys have shown up in Robo games before with a drum bot named Mandy and some other 60-pound, 120-pound robots. And those machines always do excellently. They always make top 10, top 8, sometimes even top 6 to top 4 of these Robo Games tournaments. They always perform. They always succeed. They always look great. And now we have Chonky, a robot which you've seen perform at Motorama in the past, I do believe, or other NERC events. This is going to be the RoboJackets, one of the most successful college teams in Robot Combat, the RoboJackets, University of Georgia. This is going to be their first time entering an NHRL event, I believe. I did some extensive research on the NHRL wiki, looked at some past tournaments, watched some past videos, and yes, I believe this is the very first time RoboJackets will be entering NHRL, and Chonky is, in my opinion, just as much of a chance to make the finals as a robot like Megatron, as a robot like Phenomenon, as some of these other big names we're going to be talking about later on today and after the stream and during the stream even. Going to hopefully do some donations, make a couple comments during the NHRL event itself. But Chonky, of course, a full body spinner. If you remember Blender from Dallas, Texas, another full body spinner, actually it was the 2009 BattleBots middleweight champion. Kind of the same concept. It's all billet. It's all full body spin. It's all powerful. And you know what? I just remembered. Just like STF, 15-pound advantage on Chonky. This robot, you can't tell from this picture, it is a shuffling design. It is a shuffling robot under that Chonky shell. A little bit like Pensive Prosciutto, another robot we'll be talking about here in a second. Chonky, a full body spinner. Very impressive. A lot of track record, a lot of success in the past from Chonky to other robots like Mandy to Anomaly, other robots which they've had. All the robots end in II. Good to have a team with a little bit of a trend like that. Big Scrap Daddy vibes. But yes, those are my 5 robots I would say watch out for today in the featherweight class. I'm sure at some point we're going to see some of these robots even match up against each other. You know, Megatron versus STF, Chonky versus Roadkill, Phenomenon versus maybe Fracas. Fracas, the robot we just talked about being another team coming in from Bone Dead Robotics. Maybe we'll get a bit of a Bone Dead civil war there. But yeah, there we go. Our first of 3 weight classes that we want to take a little bit of a highlight into. Look at 5 of the robots which are going to be competing today. We'll have one of those for the featherweight class and the beetleweight class coming up. There's another robot getting ready for the International Robo Games event from Team Malice. I can't tell what that is. It looks like it's going to be for bot hockey. Don't know how it's going to go down. More hype up for NOWALK Havoc with Bone Dead Robotics, showing off the forks for Fracas, it looks like. Trying to show off, hey, maybe this robot does have a little bit of bite. Let's watch this little suplex video, kind of show what I'm talking about here with this Slammo-esque design. Look at that suplex. They were not able to pull off any of those during Motorama, unfortunately, against Sportsman robots, but now they're going to be facing spinners, so it is an even bigger challenge, a bigger test. It is very good to see that the dog from I Am Legend is still alive. That makes me happy, even if it is off topic. I guess that's what Facebook's for, geez. Let's see what else we got here. Brazilian robot restaurant shutting down. That's heartbreaking. What else do we have here? Not really much else to talk about, it looks like. We covered all the main big topics here. Shouts to Dragon King. Hopefully we'll get to see that robot inside a battle box fairly soon. But now let's jump over to the Motorama. I'm sorry, guys. The NHRL Discord. I'm sure by the end of this stream, I will call it NHRL consistently. See what's going on there with some of the action, some of the build-up, some of the hype for this March 18th, 2023 NHRL event, our second of the year. And are they already fucking started? I thought they weren't starting until 10:30. Time out here. I thought they weren't starting for another hour, so if they have already started, that would suck. And once again, I typed in Motorama. I hate myself. Okay, pause. Time out. They aren't live? Scared the shit out of me. Good Murphy Jesus. Okay, I'm sorry. False alarm. We're not offline. Stream's still offline. Hopefully, okay. Apparently, there's issues going on. You're getting some issues resolved. In fact, let me ask right now. My dog has just entered the scene. Trying to figure out what's going on. But I guess in the meantime, if we're going to be getting going here pretty soon, let's get going here with these previews and hyping up what's going on here. Oh, apparently they're doing prelims. We're getting preliminary action. Stream is not on yet. Stream is only for the bracket fights, technical issues. I see what's going on here. Just trying to figure out what's going on. I know NHRL is crazy now. Over 200 robots signed up for this event, the biggest they have ever had, which is very exciting. I think they need to expand the 2 days events pretty soon, though. It was a major talking point on later in the year. But here we go. Not that one. Nope. Let's see here. Stat number 1, stat number 2. We already looked at that. Hope you guys are all doing good this morning. Thank you all for inviting me into your home so we can talk about NOWALK HAVOC while the stream gets going. And yes, let's highlight our final group of qualifiers all ready for the finals. We talked about the featherweights with EVA winning that class. We talked about the beetleweights, of course, with Puka winning that class. But let's talk about the heavyweight class, and there's been a little bit of controversy here. And if you look at these pictures for long enough, I think you can see why. When I was looking up info about these robots, gathering a bit of data, I noticed a bit of controversy on the NHRL Discord about Torrent and Torrential. And I was unsure about it at first because I didn't see what the two robots really look like, but a lot of people were upset because these two machines were very similarly designed. At least that's what I was hearing. And it didn't bother me as much at first when I initially heard this. And officially, geez. Because we have a team that we actually talked about a lot recently on the Combot Collective during that Motorama video, Team Defective. I mean, look at what they have. At that event alone, they had Son of Cram, they had Prom Hada, they had Carmen, or Son of Cram, geez. They had Carmen, they had Prom Hada, they had, this last one's slipping me, Yabnal, literally the highest ranked NHRL robot right now. All three of those robots were present at the event, and all three of them didn't end up making it too far. I think out of the three, Carmen placed third. Prom Hada placed third, so I guess that's not terrible. But all three of those robots look pretty much exactly the same. You know, they have a little bit of a difference in aesthetic style and the driver which drives them. But they're all four-wheel drive vertical spinners, and they're all pretty much very Bite Force-esque in their build. There's a little bit of characteristic in them, though, a little bit of difference. Not so much for what's going on here. Torrential versus Torrent. Torrential and Torrent, I should say. They are very much carbon copies, 1-to-1. Obviously, they are let them in. They have let them in. These guys from the Enigma Robotics program. We'll see them in the finals, and maybe we'll see them fight each other at some point. But yeah, Torrential and Torrent, two very basic robots. And yeah, I mean, the similarity is uncanny here. Down to the wheels, the side panels, the self-riding ears, the top back panel, the slant and the rear wedge, all of that's the same. And then maybe the weapon's different, but that really doesn't matter when, you know, you're spinning a robot weapon. You can barely see me there. Look, when you're spinning a weapon like that, barely even matters. So yeah, it's a shifty situation. But we also have Hooligan here. Hooligan is a very interesting case coming from Gator Robotics, one of our friends at the Combot Collective. Gator Robotics, of course, they had mechanical advantage last year. One of the biggest stories in the beetleweight class. That robot went 23-0 to start off its year. Crazy design. Hooligan placed second in the January NHRL events, only losing to Torrential. But in Motorama, we really didn't get a chance to talk about it much. It kind of placed middle of the pack, 8th to 10th, I believe, is where it finished. Got a couple of big fights, big-time moments, big-time strikes, but outside of that, not really too much going on with this robot at Motorama. It's just your classic green and blue vertical spinner, big egg beater on the front, four-wheel drive. That's really the trend for the heavyweight classes. It's all about the verts, all about the verts. We saw that when we were talking about the Motorama heavyweight class. Machines like Nightcrawler, Minor Threat 5, the two Team Defective robots. Every single one of those robots were machines that were coming out of machines coming out of Ugh, fucking brain farts, dude. They were machines coming. They're all vertical spinners. That's what I'm trying to say. Coming out of where? Coming out of Vertville, apparently. Yes, all vertical spinners, and we saw that here. But then we got Yoshimi. Yoshimi is not a vertical spinner. In fact, it comes from Team Wumpus, which is a bit of a surprise to me, seeing them do so good here. Wumpus, if you don't know, this is a robot that we see, you know, every other event, I'd say, during the occasional NHRL competition. Every other event, every few months. It is a bronze-colored full-body spinner. It is a very fun robot, but not too much success, I would say. Usually ends up losing pretty spectacularly, aside from winning spectacularly. Yoshimi, not a horizontal spinner-style robot. Not a full-body spinner, though. More of your classic horizontal spinner like a Tombstone. Got fourth. Managed to get fourth place. Managed to go to the final. So shouts to Yoshimi. Good on them. That's a very good placement positioning. But, we're moving on forward here, talking about this event. Looks like we have some prelims happening right now in the cage for NHRL that they aren't streaming. Hopefully the stream will get going here pretty damn soon. Let's take a peek here at what some of these fights that we have happening right now. One of these robots looks familiar. I don't know. That was loud. Jesus. Oh, it's a tangle up there. That's what we're looking at. On cage 8 here at NHRL. Two robots not able to come apart. What else do we have here? What on earth is that? I mean, what on earth is... What am I looking at here? Let's try opening this in browser. See what we can... Maybe get a better picture here. Oh, we got some comments finally. Shout outs to you guys. What's up, Team Liftoff? I don't know if you guys are competing today, but best of luck if you are. I love your robots. Chunky Chelsea Instruction looks very solid. If the spin up is good, I expect some devastation against the lower bracket streets. Okay, yeah, they aren't streaming. These fights aren't on YouTube, but the prelims have started. If you are listening to this, hopefully we have some people attending NHRL listening to this stream. Maybe it's playing over some intercom. I can only wish. That would be cool. Yeah, best of luck to all the prelim teams starting off in that smaller underdog bracket. I know we have the new format for NHRL this year. A lot of different things changing about it. You have the boss pool. You have the rise up pool. I'm not going to try to name the names off because I'm not fully savvy on how the NHRL bracket works yet. Maybe it's something to look at later on in the stream. But yes, shouts to you guys, Team Liftoff. Chonky looks amazing. We've seen Chonky perform in the past. It's certainly Chonky coming at 45 pounds with that shuffling body. As long as it doesn't ping pong ball around the arena like we've seen in the past with robots like Shredderator, with Gigabyte, with even Wumpus, the robot that we just talked about. Could be a good machine. Could be a very, very good machine. What's going on here with this robot that we're looking at here? I mean, oh, okay. I thought this was like a panel or leakage. No, it's a flamethrower. Always love a good flamethrower. That's always exciting to see. A lot of trash. Some big time vertical drum bots. Local event. Shot of the pits right there. Looks fantastic. What on earth is that? If we don't get to see this compete later today and I don't get a chance to talk about this robot, I will be upset. Look at this thing. This thing is sick. Wait, am I on the right panel? Okay, good. I was like, wait a minute, am I? Oh, no. Okay, no, we're good. I don't think it's going to do anything. Spare parts, that's the name of the robot. I love it. What else we got here? More egg beaters. Other people coming into the pits. Looks like that's about everything we have for day one action. There is Team 222. With a Sea Dragon and all of his other usual robots. That might be who we saw at Sea Dragon's Roar. That might be one of the robots that we just saw in that picture down here. Let's go back down here and check it out. Internet is down at the venue. Okay, well there we go. Internet is not down here, thank goodness. If you guys are waiting for NHRL stream action, hopefully you're here, right here with me as we talk more about the NHRL field. We have 2 more classes to discuss really in detail here, the beetle weights and the hoppy weights. I got more robots to watch, so stay tuned for that as we look more at some of the highlights going on in the NHRL Discord server as we wait for more details and the stream to officially begin. Apparently they have a new streaming setup, so people were expecting hiccups. That's, bumps in the road. What are we supposed to say? We had our own streaming issues this stream. Our info panels aren't working fine. It's driving me crazy, but hey, at least our stream's working, right? Obviously, a lot less moving parts here than an NHRL event, but still, let's keep briskly moving forward here. And let's talk about another one of these preview classes, and then we're going to take a small break because my dog probably wants to go outside and take a look at, pull it up. Boom, there we go. We already talked about the featherweights to watch out for at this event. Let's check out the hobbyweights here, and we got a few interesting machines to discuss. We just talked a little bit about Yobnal, the robot whose names was escaping me a couple minutes ago. Like we just mentioned, 2-2 at Motorama, just like Phenomenon. A performance like that, it leaves a lot to be the... whoa. Morning burp. My body just did all sorts of weird chemical reactions. Now I'm about to sneeze. Give me 1 second. Maybe not. That's what you sign up for, right? When you get a live stream. Okay, here we go. Hobby weights to look out for. We just said it. Yobnal, probably the best robot on Team Defective, but you would have not known that at Motorama. It is ranked #1 at NHRL. Placed the worst out of 3 Team Defective robots at Motorama. 2-2. I think it went 9th overall. Beat some solid robots like... Jesus, can't even remember. Beat Son of Cram. I know it beat Son of Cram. It beat a couple of other machines, but it also lost to some robots like Promheda. In fact, no, it wasn't Promheda. It lost to Nightcrawler, I believe. Yeah, that was Nightcrawler, the robot it managed to beat. These events, after so many, they all get mixed up in your head. But Yobnal from Team Defective, Zach on that crew. It's such a good robot, and we'll probably see it make a deep run. We'll probably see it qualify for the tournament today. And another robot we're probably going to watch qualify for the tournament today, Psycho, Jameson Go, former TCC watcher. Hopefully he's here today. If you are, what's up, Jameson? We love you. This robot is a career 12-4 and made its debut at the New Designs event in May. Won that one with the greatest of ease. It's a beautiful design. Might not have been the New Designs event. It might have been the July event. It was one of those two. But Psycho did very well at that event. It made top 8 in the December finals. It was, yes, the September 2022 winner, actually. I'm getting my days completely mixed up on what event it won. Career 12-4 inside the arena. Doesn't get knocked out much, but it certainly delivers a bunch of knockouts. It's a fantastic robot. It's super well built. Obviously, when you think of Jameson Go, you think of the saw blazes, you think of the overhead saws. But Jameson can build just damn near anything. I mean, look at Tale of 3 Hams from that May event. That's a robot that was at that May event. Crazy design. And same force, and N-Same from Same But Different. That was, I believe, the following month's robot. That was a multi-bot. That robot did pretty well. Psycho there, it's all business. It's probably the most business-oriented machine that appears in G3 Robotics. It's such a solid robot. Let's keep moving forward here, though. We talked about Richard a couple times here and there during different moments of the tournament, during moments of the live stream, I should say. And Richard's right here. Brand new look for the 2022 finals that we're seeing in this picture. Maybe it will look a little bit different for this one. It comes from Cornell University. And I love Richard mainly because it has one of the loudest, one of the craziest fan bases about any robot which competes at these NHRL events. Richard always brings the Cornell University with them. They take up a lot of the stands in their big orange shirts. And every time you'll hear, Richard, Richard. Full-on cheering, full-on loudness. They are behind their robotics program in Cornell University, and I love it. And that momentum was probably a big X factor as to why they did qualify for the NHRL finals in the earlier half of the 2022 season. They did pretty well in their sole event and then showed up at the finals. Career 5-4, so not the best of our veteran robots entering the arena here. But it's now been about a year since we all discovered Richard for the first time. It's a fun robot. It's a fun team. The weapon can pack a punch when it needs to. If they can improve their mobility, watch out for Richard at this event. Now let's get to some of the more fun robots that are competing in this hobby weight class. Of course, you can't have an NHRL hobbyweight event without Milk Tank, a robot so persistent, it even managed to qualify for the finals last year. And the Milk Tank we're looking at here, two-wheel drive with a horizontal spinner. Probably not the Milk Tank we'll see inside the arena today. If you know the Milk Tank team, these guys have a signature for bringing essentially a brand new robot, a brand new iteration of Milk Tank to every single event. And we've seen this robot have all sorts of weapons, from horizontal spinners to vertical spinners to saw blades to bubble machines to rams to wedges, and it's always something crazy. We've seen glitter balloons on these robots. This team, this machine always puts on such a crazy show. It is, you know, the detour of NHRL. It's really the best way you can put it. My friend Ethan Shipley from Broken Gears Robotics helps with him every now and then, helps Team Milk Tank. He's an honorary Team Milk Tank member. Can't wait to see what Milk Tank does this event. Can't wait to see how it looks. Maybe Milk Tank Ed is here as well. We'll need to look at the field later on in the stream. Hello, hello. My mic just fell over. That was cool. Yes. We're flipping microphones. We're flipping burgers here. That was a joke I was thinking about coming up with here before my mic busted. Yeah, Bugsby. First event since Motorama. That was a disappointing event for Bugsby at Motorama. 0-2. Pretty much got flipped over immediately in both of its fights. Couldn't land any of those signature big-time burger, whopper, patty melt kind of strikes. Blue Cheese is at this event. That's something worth noting. I put it in our notes right here. Blue Cheese is at this event. The two-wheel drive egg beater drum, Shades of Chigger, a robot which is known to get obliterated at these events. And the first robot to ever obliterate it, Blue Cheese. I'm sorry, Bugsby in that all-food rumble that we had, the food fight rumble, I believe, during the May event, I want to say. Blue Cheese got obliterated by Bugsby, so you got to hope, for Blue Cheese's sake, that robot does not have to come across Bugsby again this tournament. That would suck for them. Best of luck, though, to Blue Cheese. And best of luck, though, to Bugsby and the rest of the Bugsby crew. Usually the captain with them, her and the rest of her crew, brings a ton of little B-bots to fight in the competition. We got Bugsby, though, in the 12-pound class. It is such an exciting, such a fun robot, full of character. It's a shame it didn't do as well as it did at Motorama. Bounce back event here, maybe. A lot of vertical spinners in the field, so maybe not. If you can get some underdog robots like Richard and Milk Tank, maybe Bugsby can make a run. Maybe sneak into the NHRL finals. I would love to see it. And before we go, take a pause and get out of here. Let's take an intermission, I should say. We're not going to get out of here yet. Not yet. Look at this. 12-pound voxel. You know, I saw it in the sign-up sheet when I was looking at it a couple days back. I thought maybe it was a mistake. Maybe it was a multi-bot version of voxel. Nope. It is a 12-pound version of voxel. So if you have if you wanted a new robot in this field that you wanted to say, yep, that's the one that I think is going to make the finals, that one's going to appear in the finals, 12-pound voxel has to be your choice. It is literally, I mean, we're looking at the 3-pound version and the 12-pound version right here. It's a 1-to-1 copy. I'm going to guess that maybe the father is going to be in charge of the voxel 3-pound family now. Maybe the son will focus. Brian Boxel will focus on the bigger one. Or maybe the son's driving both. I don't know what's going on here. 12-pound voxel, though, in the weight class. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be very, very exciting. Someone said in the NHRL Discord, maybe it's time to revise your predictions when you see a robot like this. Maybe you're right. That robot's going to go far today. It's going to have to work through the underdog bracket. It's probably going to have to fight through a couple prelims. Maybe already fought as we speak. Maybe fighting right now. But what a good-looking robot. I mean, geez. But hey, that is most of what we have to talk about today. We still have a lot to talk about, though. You know, we're going to be going for at least 30 minutes more because that's when the live stream starts. But I do have a dog that has to go pee. She's been very patient. Shouts to my dog, Bella, Bella, Bella. In fact, here, Bella. You want a cameo? You want a cameo, Bella Mozzarella? Oh, look at this one. Look at this dog. Look at this bow wow wow yibby yo yibby yay. This is the dog that keeps the shows going and sometimes delays the shows depending on how she's feeling. But yes, hello. I am Sterling Brown and this is my dog. And we're going to take a quick pause. When we come back, we'll talk about the robots you need to watch out for in the 3-pound class. We'll take a look at the sign-up field, and we'll start to wrap things up here at AMIDST the Havoc. Hope you guys have been enjoying the live stream. Hope you guys enjoy NHRL when it happens here in about an hour or so. And I hope you guys come back when we do our post-show stream later on in the evening, late at night. I know I'm going to be so tired, but that's just how these live streams go. We will be right back here, though, at the AMIDST the Havoc. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. You hear that, Bella? Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. All right, let's go outside. You're going to take off. She's so cute. All right, we're back. Just sort of going through what we have here. Looks like Badnick, old name right there. They're at the event with Nitro Hornet. And in fact, here we go. Uh-oh. Looks like we have some jingly. What are you doing, Bella? Looks like we have some qualifier round 1 results being shared with us now. Bit of a shame because I did want to see some of these robots fight. Like, apparently we now have info that let me go back to me. Let me go back to me here. Let's go to here and look at this. We have some info here. Phenomenon has defeated Roadkill. We know that. I think they could at least save the 30-pound fights for, you know, live stream. I want to see these fights. STF versus Square Up, Tobacco Tank, and Anxiety. There's another RoboJackets robot right there. We have Chonky, another RoboJackets robot right there. We got Shake Sharon. That's new. That's news to me. I did not know this robot was competing here today. That's exciting. If you didn't watch our Sportsman Motorama rundown, Shake Sharon is a very impressive robot. It is all treads. It is a unique shape. Very nice to look at. Main primarily weapon, steel chair. It comes in, you fucking like, it comes like this. You know, it's not messing around. I love that robot. It's not the best fighter, but hopefully we can watch it fight a little bit today. I want to hear Luke react to that robot. It's a fun machine. But here we go. More interesting things here. Prom Hada has already fought. We just talked about that robot a little bit. It defeated Iteration. That's a tough first draw for that team. Milk Tank fights Full Court. That sounds like a fun fight. We got Bugsby fighting Side Apple. So a bit of a food fight there. Blue Cheese has already lost once today to Avalanche. That's unfortunate. What else do we have here? ROB losing to Maximizer. Voxel facing a machine named Baby Grim. I don't know how that's going to go down. And in the 3-pound class, a bunch of fights have already happened. Be careful what you wish for has not fought yet. We'll talk about that robot here in a couple seconds. Warhard has fought. Shoutouts to my boys in Texas. Very happy to see that Warhard had a first round victory. What else are we looking at here? Pensa Prosciutto. We'll talk about that robot here in a little bit. Beat Positively Hysterical. Oh, I hope they show some of these fights during the intermission because I want to see Positively Hysterical fight. That is a fun robot. Probably my favorite robot so far this year. Milk Tankette is back. Milk Tankette is back. Lost to Nuber EX. What else do we have here? Not really much in terms of popular names. Triple Stuffed Oreo is there. There's the victory. Nitro Hornet got over Brute. Tiefschlag defeated Bulkhead. Pine Victus lost to Sea Dragon's Roar. Few more fights still have to happen before this event is over, it looks like. I really wish they were live streaming them because I feel like we're missing some really good fights here. In fact, let me ask this real quick. Let's see here. Here we go. Hopefully we'll get a response to this fairly quick. I would really like to see some of these. Things are still buffering. Maybe the stream's working now. I don't know. Let's give this thing a refresh. Nope, not yet. I don't know what's going on with them. Hopefully they can get it figured out. We still got a little bit more to talk about here, though, in terms of like predictions, robots to discuss, big time things that are happening. Hopefully we still have some people here hanging out with us, enjoying everything that's going on. And yeah, without further ado, let's hop into it. We talked about robots to watch out for the featherweights. We talked about robots to watch out in the hobbyweights. But what about robots to watch out in our beetleweight division, the most popular division, the largest division? Well, let's get to it right here, right now. We got robots from all sorts of walks of life here, from the best to the bottom. And let's start off with the bottom here. It's a loved robot from me. Loved robot for a lot of these people. I believe this guy has a YouTube page and everything. But we got to talk about serial killer here. It's the joke bot of joke bots in the 3-pound class. Up there with Milk Tank Ed, I would say. Serial killer is made of over 50% cardboard. It is literally all cereal boxes almost. I believe it is a clamp, but I think the design changes from event to event, kind of like Milk Tank. NHRL veteran has picked up a couple of... has a little bit of fight history inside the NHRL arena, and I believe some other arenas as well. And this guy has a thing for making cereal box-based robots. I think it does have a win or two under its belt. I may be incorrect. I don't know everything about every live scene robot, but Serial Killer will be here today. Hopefully we'll see it on stream. Hopefully it'll be very good. Or, very good fights. I don't know if it's going to beat anyone, especially Pensive Prosciutto, one of my favorite Beetleweights in probably the whole world, I'd have to say. It is an underrated machine from G3 Robotics. It's got like that Louis Vuitton purse livery up top, which just looks very fancy, very professional looking robot. Just like Chonky, who we talked about earlier in the day, Pensive Prosciutto is a shuffling full body spinner, but this time this is a ring spinner, a bit similar to the 1 pound winner in Malarama. Not a multi-brain, not a full body spinner, but a ring spinner, and a very solid one at that. We've seen that robot pick up some big time wins in the past. We've seen it take on some very worthy challengers like its teammate Silent Spring before in the past. This robot always a fun one to watch. Probably about middle ground, I'd say, in terms of win-loss average, but hopefully we'll get to see a good bit of Pensive Prosciutto in the arena today. It already has one qualifier fight on deck for it. I don't remember if we saw that it won or not. Let's double check that real quick. Pensive Prosciutto. Yes, it did. It beat Positively Hysterical. I want to see that fight, man. What else do we have here? We have, another robot that we just talked about. Friend of the Combot Collective, Alex, has appeared on here a couple of times. In fact, he's on Team Shreddit, on BattleBots, and in general. You can catch some of his gear at robotsruinmylife.com, our sponsors. But here, this is his main robot. Be careful what you wish for. And as it says here on the note, it is made from scraps and wish.com items. It is a 5-hour build. Just whatever the guy had around the house at the time. I mean, the dude's a chef. He ain't got no time to be building some fancy HDPE, CAD, ABCD, XYZ robot. No, this is a 2 wheels, vertical spinner, some kind of plowy looking bendy bits on the front. Hopefully we can see it win a fight. It takes on Intolerance in round 1. Wish the best for our boy Alex Peza, with his machine. Be careful what you wish for. We've seen this robot take on numerous looks in the past, much like Serial Killer, much like Milk Tank. We've seen it be a lifter before. We've seen it be a flipper. We've seen it be other forms of vertical spinner. This time, though, it's a bit more of a traditional look for it. And speaking of robotsruinmylife.com, what about the man behind the whole shtick himself, Tony D'Ambrosio with Blackbird? Very impressive website, very impressive robot. You got to say it right here. It is a 2-time annual NHRL finalist. It has yet to miss an NHRL finals. It's probably the most consistent robot on Team Shreddit, I would say. Shreddit Bro, the original robot on Team Shreddit, the face of Team Shreddit, kind of had an off 2022. It didn't make the finals after showing up at so many events. And at Motorama, it just sort of placed in the middle of the field. Didn't make any impacts there. No sound waves there. We will see it at Robo Games. We will see it tonight, so maybe we'll see a little bit more from Shredder Bro then. But Blackbird, it's been picking up the slack. It made it all the way to the finals in April last year, almost a year ago. That was very impressive. Of course, looked very good later on in the year at other events. Looked really good in the finals. And now it has a stacked year ahead of it. Not only are we probably going to be seeing this robot at almost every NHRL event, but it's also signed up for Robo Games. A lot of crazy robots in that field from both sides of the country, including Lynx, the machine which beat it in April, the machine which is our 2-time defending NHRL Beetleweight national annual champion, I should say. It's going to be tough to get past Lynx later on in the year. But Lynx isn't here, thank God for all these teams. Instead, we have a different champion in Jetlag, our final robot to talk about here. Bottom of the list, it is fresh off a 3-pound championship at Motorama 2023, and the driver, the builder of Jetlag, won Best Driver of the entire Motorama event, one of the most important awards you can get at that competition. It won the 3-pound championship with ease, took it pretty easily. It's your classic two-wheel drive drum bot. This robot has yet to miss an NHRL finals as well, but I don't believe it has won an NHRL event. It's won one event this year. It's perfect record as far as I know. Maybe it can make it 2-0. Maybe Jetlag will be this year's mechanical advantage. I don't know. Jetlag, though, a very impressive robot to watch out for. The one of the few robots coming in here as a defending champion, and it's also going to be a robot at RoboGames. So maybe the first half of Jetlag's year is going to be one hell of a year. Imagine that. Championships in California, Pennsylvania, and Connecticut with that middleweight. Maybe now you have to make the case that maybe Jetlag's the best middleweight in the world if that's the run they decide to go on. But they're going to have to get past right now, in my opinion, the true best middleweight in the world. Link's at RoboGames if they want to do it. But today ain't about RoboGames. It's about Motorama. And if you look at the group of robots here, you know, Pencil Prosciutto would provide Jetlag a challenge. Blackbird would provide Jetlag a challenge. Who's in the qualifiers that might provide this robot a challenge? You got Warhard. That's a robot which always puts on a great fight. We got Backlash Wave, a respectable little robot. Natural Hornet, if you know Badnick, you know that's going to be a solid robot. We have Sea Dragon's Roar. Sea Dragon's Roar, you got to watch out for Sea Dragon's Roar. Apparently there's a small version of Prom Hada in the 3-pound bracket this year. It's already advanced through a round. That's exciting to see. A lot of really interesting robots here. I hope we get to see compete in some sort of way or another looking at the bracket here. Let's go back to our main camera real quick so you can see what I'm seeing. There we go. Archangel X is there. Boombox is there. Boombox actually was almost on our preview list here. But there it is. It's going to be taking on Hitchhiker around 2. Hopefully we'll get to see that fight fairly soon. A lot of fights on deck, man. So there's no way they can get all these done within this last 14, 15 minutes before tournament actually begins and the stream starts to properly kick off. Let's see if we can find the full sign-up sheet, though. Full sign-up sheet for everyone who has entered this year's, this month's tournament. Maybe we can make some predictions. Well, apparently they aren't accepting predictions, so we aren't doing that. I think, though, let's get the sign-up registration sheet up, and then we can make a proper prediction. Look at all these 30-pounders. That makes me really excited. All these 30-pounders signing up for the event. Vacatank, Tsunami, STF, Spare Parts, Sake Sharon, Roadkill, Phenomenon, Megatron, Hotshot, Facus, 4-letter word, Chonky, Anxiety. There's 3. I'm sorry, there's 2. My bad. I can't read apparently. There are 2 RoboJackets robots in this field. Bone Dead Robotics. 3, I'm sorry, Tsunami is as well. I was right. Tsunami as well, a RoboJackets robot. We're going to have to see how well these robots do. I think a RoboJackets robot will qualify for the NHRL finals today, because that is a damn good robotics program. But I'm going to play it safe auto with my 30-pound prediction here. I got to think, it's got to be Megatron. It's got to be Jameson Go. It's got to be Sawblaze. It's got to be Megatron. This robot is fantastic. It is consistent, and it's even better in a 30-pound box because everything's more compact, everything's more reliable, everything's more chunky. It's a solid machine. It's going to go far today. It's probably going to go to the finals. Kablooey Tangle might stop it, but I think Megatron will do big-time damage to the top of Kablooey. Any flat-top robot's going to be food for Megatron. So it's a safe pick, but that's my pick to win the 30-pound class. But what's going on with the 12-pound class? Well, who's here? We already talked about a few of these. Blue Cheese, Bugsby, Doomida, Herbie 3, Hockey, Hooligan, Killajoule, Maximizer, Milk Tank, Prom Hada, Richard, Psycho, Yob Null, Voxel. Well, you got a lot of big-time vertical spinners in this class. I mean, Yob Null has a chance to win. Voxel has a chance to win its first ever event. Richard could be a nice underdog pick. Prom Hada's there. Psycho was there. I think, though, with all the robots lined up, I feel like maybe Jameson Go is going to be a little bit overwhelmed with Megatron. Not overwhelmed. I don't think that's the right word because Jameson Go knows how to handle situations like this. If there's one person that's probably been at more NHRL events than anyone, it has to be Jameson. I would have to say, though, I think, having both Psycho and Megatron in the final 2 is going to be a bit of a bearing load on G3 Robotics. I think both are going to get into the finals today. But I'm gonna get a little bold here. I'm gonna get a little bold here and say Voxel's gonna win the 12-pound class. I know Yobnal's there, and I know Prom Hate is there, and I was thinking about siding with one of them, but momentum is not on their side after that Motorama event. They might not have the same amount of spare parts as a team like Psycho with G3 Robotics, or like Voxel, you know, crews that didn't compete at Motorama, you know, barely over a month ago, will have. So, yeah, I'll go Voxel. It's a damn good driver. Brian Voxel's a damn good builder, and it's going to be a damn good robot, assuming that there's no early robot reliability issues. That's the only thing I can see stopping this machine from winning here. But hey, one more class to go. We're going to start wrapping things up here fairly shortly. A ton of 3-pound robots in this field. Let's take a look at what we got here. Just naming off some names as we go down the list. We got Archangle X. We got Backlash Wave. We got Battering Beaver. We got Be Careful What You Wish For. Blackbird, of course. Boombox. Bulkhead. Caldera. Caldera, always a common NHRL finalist. Cemetery Drive. Serial Killer. Shouts to Serial Killer. Hopefully we can see it do good. Another NHRL event winner. They won the 3-pound New Bots event in May last year. Crash Fest. They're on our lineup. That's exciting. They're always going to do good. You don't really see too many non-KE robots do well in the 3-pound class, but Crash Fest will be right there. And without Depth Charge to obliterate them, maybe they'll do well. Crash Fest also signed up for Robo Games as a reserve. Hopefully we can see it there as well. What else do we got? ER Stingray 2. That's always a good horizontal multi-bot. First drink of the day from Tom Farks. That makes me so excited because Tom Farks is a fantastic driver. He's a super fan. He's from Cooperstown, New York, Baseball Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame performances by drink of the day. Last time we saw first drink of the day compete. Almost made it to the finals. That's how good it did. Maybe it can make the upset run this time around. Flying Purple People Eater, FRC Who. Some fun names there. Fully defined. One of the best flamethrower robots in the world is there. Happy Apple. So multiple Apple-themed robots. That's interesting. Hitchhiker, Hex, Hot Wings, Intolerance, Jack Move, Jasmine Dragon, Juggernaut, Jetlag. There we go. Jetlag's going to be a very big-time robot to watch here. We just talked about that. A robot named Marvin and a robot named Melvin. That won't get confusing at all. There's a Milk Tankette, robot named Money Shots, Nemesis. Name to be decided. I wonder if that's what the robot is named or if that's what the robot is about to be named. I don't know. Looks like it's from the University of Arkansas. It's always good to see Arkansas hanging out here. We got Nightlight from Team Valkyrie, so maybe that's the name of the mini hot leaf juice. Nitro Hornet, of course, from Team Ignition with Badnick, Dylan McCarthy, good group of people there. Pensa Prosciutto, of course, from G3 Robotics. Pine Victus, that's a robot you've seen before. Polar Vortex, a multi-bot. You've seen them before. What else do we got here? It's always such a crazy loaded field in the 3-pound class. Picking a winner out of this is like pulling a name out of the hat. Sea Dragon's Roar is here. Shifty. Whoa, time out. How'd this one slip by my radar? Shifty from Seems Reasonable Robotics. Our defending Battle Boss champions will be here. And it looks like it's not going to be Aaron Hill driving this time. It's going to be Ginger Schmidt, the person who's the captain of our defending Battle Boss champion, Tantrum. That's going to be exciting. It's a vertical spinner. It's got the multi-directional wheels, strafing wheels, I want to say. It's not omnidirectional wheels. They're more like a Triple Crowns wheel setup. I didn't know this robot was going to be competing here. That's very exciting. That makes me super stoked. It's right by Shred It Bro. We have Team Stamina, Johnny Sampas with Spartan. That Johnny has been in the news of robot combat quite a bit lately. We have seen, what is it, Antimatter? I believe that's what the new heavyweight's going to be called. The first ever heavyweight coming out of the Bahamas. I am so excited for international heavyweight action. And another robot like that coming out of the Bahamas, a machine which wants to compete at Robo Games. We heard they want to be at Robo Games and they want to be at BattleBots. International representation. I mean, I'm right now on the international representation high, watching so much WBC lately. But seeing that Bahamas representation inside the Battle Box, inside the Robo Games arena in the future, like we have seen for NHRL event after event after event with Spartan, it's huge. It's going to be huge. Spartan, one of the few robots which have knocked out Lynx before in the past, made Lynx tap out. So that would be big if Spartan can make some waves in this year with the heavyweight coming next year. Apparently that's what I've heard so far. The heavyweight is supposed to be coming next year. Watch out for Spartan. What else do we have here? Teep Schlag, Tilt, Triple Stuffed Oreo, a robot which is literally called Foot. There's another seems reasonable robot called Twerps. This sounds like a this sounds like it's going to be. Now this is interesting. This is interesting. We know that Seems Reasonable Robotics wants to bring a clusterbot to BattleBots 2023. If you haven't heard of that, well, there's your news. Seems Reasonable Robotics wants to bring a clusterbot to BattleBots 2023. It's going to be called Twins. It's currently also signed up for Robo Games, but we don't know if it's going to be there or not. It is a reserve. Twerps sounds like it's going to be a 3-pound version of Twins. So keep an eye out for Twerps. This might be a big-time preview for BattleBot seasons to come, Robo Games events to come. That's going to be very interesting to see. We have Warhard here. We have ZZ Bot. That's another robot which is always fun to watch. Always makes a good run for it. Wormhole. There's another machine. Vertical spinner, 2-wheel drive. A lot of very, very popular robots here. A lot of powerful names. I think one robot missing here that stands out as missing is Silent Spring. Silent in more than one way. You know what? Let me look at this list one more time. It's hard to pick a winner when you're looking at a list like this. Like, oh God, what's best? What's worst? You know, no Eruption, no Brazilian robots. Ooh, this is gonna be tough. It's gonna be a wide open field for this tournament. No Pura. So we know that robot's not gonna be there. Can't say I'm expecting it to be Voxel. Can't say I'm expecting it to be Shredded, bro. I would like for it to be Blackbird. I would like for it to be Warhard. I don't know if I want to go full in on the Homer pick, though. ER Stingray's a really good... Eruption is there! Jesus Christ. Ignore me. You know what? I think that's going to be my pick. I'm going to say Eruption. It's a safe pick. It's a very good robot. It finally won an event championship, and I believe it's top 5 ranked in NHRL Beetleweights. It's going to get biased through the deeper part of the tournament. Yeah, I'm going to say Eruption. Eruption from Brian Voxel. I picked to win the 3-pound class. In the 12-pound class, I'm going to say Voxel. So, yeah, Brian Voxel is going to take 2 championships, I think, today. And then it's going to be Megatron, the 30-pound class with, of course, Jameson Go, G3 Robotics behind the wheel of that crew. I think that's going to be my picks. I think we're still going to see, you know, Milk Tank's going to steal the show, win over some hearts. Same with the Bugsby people. I think we're going to see a lot. I think we're going to see a lot of fans discover the Robo Jackets for the first time today. It's going to be one hell of a team. They're going to have a hell of a group of robots. I believe they're in every single weight class. Let's see. We got... No, Robo Jackets in the 12-pounders? Really? No, there's one. They have hockey. They have hockey. And then in this class, who else do they have? They're in here somewhere. Let me just, you know. Maybe they aren't. No Beetleweights. That's a little surprising. Robo Jackets only showing up here with big robots. Gator Robotics does have a robot named Zippy. That's interesting to see. New robot from Team Gator Robotics. They're a friend of the Combot Collective. Team Sus is going to be back. Shout out to Team Sus. I know they lost their dog recently. That breaks my heart. I love those guys. I love any young robot combat team that's a family team, kids in it. They got Timber this time around. I hope they do very good. Who else do we have here? Team... What? You start looking at the bracket for the first time, you get excited, man. You get excited seeing all these names compete. We got a lot of exciting robot combat. Seems Reasonable Robotics and Team WPI, the teams behind Blip, Tantrum, and Ribot, are apparently working together, captained by William Stanley, for a robot named Tilt. So we got 3 Seems Reasonable robots competing in this 3-pound class. If that doesn't get you excited, I don't know what will. BattleBots teams are all over the field here. You know, we got, of course, BNS Robotics, Seth Schaefer. He always has machines here. G3 Robotics, WPI. They are the faces of NHRL. Team Warhawk. We just talked about Team Warhawk. Team Warhard. We just talked about. Seems Reasonable Robotics, the defending BattleBots champions. They're here. So many teams. Team Valkyrie is here with a Valkyrie / Hot Leaf Juice clone in every single weight class. I mean, it's such an exciting field. And our final stat we got to pull up today. I think we pulled up pretty much most of our stat reports. We got one more to look at before we send you guys out there to NHRL for this last thing. Let's see. We talked about that. Maybe we have already used one through all of our notes. I think we have. Okay. Ignore what I've said. We are all caught up on all of my stat sheets. That is very exciting. But hey, I think that's going to wrap it up for us pretty much. That means we have ran over all of these NHRL robots. We'll take one more look at the chat just to see what's going on with everybody. Hopefully this live stream will be happening fairly soon. Nate Franklin is inside the NHRL video. That makes me excited. What else do we have here? Round 2 matchups are being dropped by Jehovah. So we'll look at that real quick. And what's going on with this? I don't know. Is this like, what is this? The new NHRL stream? Should I be checking this stream out instead? A little bit confused. I don't know how I ended up on an NFT guy's webpage, but there we go. Oh, apparently NHRL.com is owned by this guy. Well, I can't be the only person who has discovered that guy's Weird 8 page. I don't know. Okay, so we are going live. Look at this. Oh, maybe we aren't. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. I don't know. Looks like we have a bunch of offline streams, but hey, we're going to be going here fairly soon, I'd imagine. That's kind of crazy. I didn't know that they were doing this. NHRL expands so much every single time we see them do this stuff. It makes me so proud of what they do. There we go. Now we got a feed. So yeah, maybe I should get out of here. Yes, that does it for us, I would say. For our first Amidst the Havoc episode of the day. Whenever the championship action finally wraps up in NOWALK, we'll be back here. I want to see all you guys get back here on the NHRL. I'm sorry, on the Combot Collective, not NHRL. We'll talk more about the event. We'll discuss our champion, who has qualified for the finals, some event reactions. Probably won't be as long as this episode, but still, it's going to be awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I'm going to start wrapping it up here because I know that you guys are probably going to want to watch some robot fighting. Maybe you guys have already gotten started. If you're just listening to me, I'll let you focus on the robot fighting then. I am so excited. It is NHRL day. It is going to be robot fighting all day. And we also got a little bit of baseball. You got some baseball heads in the chat. I don't know if we do. WBC, USA versus Venezuela. Go Venezuela. Go Martin Perez. But go robot fighting. We're going to watch some robots fight today. I'm so excited. Let's go ahead and get you guys to the arena. I'm your host, as always, Sterling Brown at the Combot Collective, and thank you for watching an episode of Amidst the Havoc. We will see you later tonight when we have our Amidst the Havoc, when we have our NOWALK Havoc champions. And stay tuned for the next week or two, maybe the next month after this, because we will be doing After the Havoc. After the Havoc will be returning. Stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for more BattleBots episodes that we'll be talking about in the future, of course. We got to run down episode 10, I should say. My apologies. The Riptide incident, the crazy main event that was on that episode with Monsoon and Whiplash. A lot happened in that episode. And we also have the RoboGame streams on deck. That's going to be really good. We're going to be talking medal counts. We're going to be talking international representation. We're going to be talking heavyweights. Who doesn't love talking heavyweights? We'll be bringing up the TCC overall rankings, all that fun stuff. A lot of things are going to be happening here at the Combot Collective. So thank you guys so much for watching this stream. We'll see you tonight. I hope you're all going to be there. This is Amidst the Havoc. The predictions are over. Let's get to the arena. Thank y'all, and we will see you next time. Tonight, in fact. Be here tonight.